Welcome to my YouTube channel, The Lawyer's Law for Students. Today, we discuss Chapter 17 of the Indian Penal Code. Okay, the remaining sections of Chapter 17, that's offences against property. In the last video, that part 1, which we had called, we had discussed theft, extortion, robbery, dacoity, criminal misappropriation of property, and criminal breach of trust. Quick recap, we had arranged them in groups of 10, right? 378 was theft. In the next group, 383, phonetically E is there, extortion. In the next group, 390 robbery, because 390 has a O, and robbery also has O, the 0 and the O, okay. 391 dacoity. Then the next group, 403 and 405, 403 criminal misappropriation of property, and 405 criminal breach of trust. How to remember what is 403, what is 405? Remember, the P in property comes before T of trust. So criminal breach of misappropriation of property is 403 and 405 is criminal breach of trust. That much we have done. Now we take the remaining sections. Okay, we start from 410. 410 is concerning, say, stolen property. So what is a stolen property? See, any property, if it lands up in your hands by way of theft, extortion or robbery, the letters T-E-R is also there in property. P-R-O-P-E-R-T-Y. The letters are there. E-R-T or T-E-R, it's there. So if a property lands up in your hand by theft, extortion or robbery, or criminal misappropriation of property, or by criminal breach of trust, that property is stolen property. Easy. Okay. So in substance, all the prior sections are there. Theft, extortion, robbery, criminal breach of trust, or criminal misappropriation of property. By these means, any means, if a property lands up in your hands, it's a stolen property. But the moment it goes back to the possession of a person legally entitled to hold, it ceases to be a stolen property. That's 410. Okay. Now we take 415. Cheating. Cheating. For cheating, remember the words, D letters, D and DD. What's D and DD? If someone deceives, if Mr. X deceives Mr. Y, right? Answer, I said DD, no, sorry, it's D and FD, right? If Mr. X deceives Mr. Y and fraudulently or dishonestly, right? It induces that person, Mr. Y, to deliver any property, or to consent that someone else should hold the property, or to do or not to do something by which the harm is caused to him in the mind, body, reputation and property, then this act is called cheating. I'll put it. If Mr. X deceives Mr. Y fraudulently or dishonestly and thereby induces such a situation that Y delivers property, or consents that any other person, say Z, would retain the property. Simple words I'm using, not the exact words. Or Y does something or omits to do something which otherwise would not have done. Because of this thing he has done it, and in result causes a harm to the mind, body, reputation and property, all right, of that person, Y, then X has committed the offense of cheating. All right, gone. These are easy things. Now we come to 425, mischief. In mischief, simple thing is, if the property is not mine and I cause damage to the property with that intent, I destroy the property or diminish its value, it's mischief. How simple an example. You have a ring, I take that ring and throw it in the river. You have a pen, I take that pen and throw it in the river. What do? Property is yours and I destroy it. Even if you find it, the value is diminished, right? So that's mischief. Easy. The rest of the sections are more interesting. Now we have done 425. Now we'll be doing 441. From here, pay a little bit more attention. 441 is criminal trespass. So what is criminal trespass? Now once you have to think of criminal trespass, the word criminal comes in. 445, 441. See, in the word criminal, we have the letter I twice, I, okay, and A once. So I, and A. Remember it? Criminal. CRIMINAL. Okay. Remember the letters I, A. Okay. Criminal trespass. Now, if someone enters into the pay attention to the highest level, because similar things will come up, slightly different. If someone enters into the property of any other person, right, with the intent to cause an offense, to commit an offense, or with the intent that he would commit intimidation, insult, or annoyance. I mean, he would intimidate, insult, or annoy someone. Then it's criminal trespass. So what is intimidation? What is insult? What is annoyance? These are matters of chapter 22 of the IPC. Simply put, this must be 503, 504, 510. Remember, not for this chapter, chapter 22, sections 53, 504 and 510. Intimidate, insult and annoyance. Right? So if a person enters into the property of another and he intends to commit an offense or intimidate, insult or annoy, IIA, someone, then he has committed the act of criminal trespass. Now, if he enters lawfully but stays back to do the same thing, intimidate, insult or annoy, or to commit an offense, then also he has committed criminal trespass. That's 441. Now we'll understand house trespass. You understood criminal trespass? Okay. Now the word house comes in. Think of a house. Now once the word house comes in, it's 442. In 442, there's house trespass. Okay. What is house trespass? You have seen the television, TV. Okay, think of a big TV. Or MTV, there's a big TV. Whatever, television, big television. Right? Remember the word. In a house, there's a television. Right? And you stay there, you worship there, you keep properties there. These are normal things you do. So we use these concepts to develop the understanding of house trespass. If someone enters into a BTV, what is BTV? Building, tank or vessel. House, TV, BTV. Building, tank or vessel. If someone enters into a building, tank or vessel, which is used for human dwelling or place of worship or some place to keep property, correct? Human dwelling, worship, property. Remember, big TV, human stay there. Building, tent or vessel, used for human dwelling, place of worship or place of property. All right. Then the offense of criminal trespass becomes house trespass. Clear? So criminal trespass, when committed in a building, tent or vessel, big TV, used for human dwelling, for place of worship or for keeping property, it becomes house trespass. 442. Now what is lurking house trespass? 443. Okay. While committing house trespass, if he takes precaution to conceal this house trespass, because someone who may throw him out, evict him, does not know it. Simple words. He commits the act of house trespass, but he takes that much of precaution to conceal the house trespass so that he is not evicted out by someone who can. Right? Then it's called lurking house trespass. Clear? 443. Lurking house trespass. Okay. Now comes the concept of lurking house trespass, night. If the lurking house trespass is committed, the offense of lurking house trespass, after sunset and before sunrise, then 444, lurking house trespass by night. Right? I'm just using the words as it comes to my mind. Exact words you may find in the book. Follow it. But you've understood the criminal trespass, 441. The word criminal, IIA. Okay, if someone enters into the property of another to commit an offense or with the intention to insult, intimidate or annoy someone, it's criminal trespass, 441, right? Then if he enters lawfully but stays back to do the same thing, an offense or insult, intimidate or annoy someone, it's again criminal trespass, 441. Now the house trespass. For house trespass, big television, worship, property, human dwelling, all these things. 442. If someone commits house trespass, all right, on a building, tank or vessel, BTV, where it's used for human dwelling or place of worship or keeping of the property, then it's house trespass. The criminal trespass becomes house trespass. 442. 443. Lurking house trespass. If the house trespass is done by a person with the precaution to conceal the house trespass so that he's not evicted out by a person who can, it's lurking house trespass. And if this lurking house trespass is done after sunset and before sunrise, it's lurking house trespass midnight. So 441, 442, 443 and 444 you've learned. Criminal trespass, house trespass, lurking house trespass and lurking house trespass by night. This much ago. Now we talk about 445, housebreaking. What is housebreaking? Simple. To commit the offense of house trespass, if any of the 6 ways I say now is used, either to make an entry or make an exit, to enter or go out, then it's housebreaking. Right. 445, housebreaking. 6 ways. Now before I go into the 6 ways, just try to remember these concepts. Think of a passage. Housebreaking, na? Think of a passage. Right. Eventually it must lead to an opening. It's a passage. First, passage. Secondly, think of a wall or a building. Easy. Thirdly, think of a door with a door latch. Possible? Possible. Recall. First, think of a passage. Second, image comes a wall or a building. Okay, good. Thirdly, a door with a door latch. All right. Fourthly, a door with a lock. Easy. Fifthly, you see a cat, C-A-T, there. Just near the door, you see a cat, C-A-T. Okay. And lastly, sixthly, the door is locked. You break it open. Clear? Once again, firstly, you see a passage. Secondly, you see a wall or a building. Thirdly, you see a door with a door latch. Fourthly, you see a lock on the door. Fifthly, you suddenly see a cat, C-A-T, right? And sixthly, you break open the door. So what are different ways of entry and exit? Okay, number 1, if the entry or the exit is made by the person committing the offense through a passage, right, used by himself or by an abettor. So what is abettor? It's 108 IPC. We'll talk later. Another person who aids the crime. Think about that. Simple. We'll talk when we discuss that chapter. If the passage, entry or exit is made by the person committing the crime or by an abettor through a passage, right, then it's housebreaking. Okay. Secondly, if the entry or exit for this offense of housebreaking is committed by the person through a passage normally not used for that purpose, or to reach that passage, to have access to that passage, he scales a wall or jumps over a building, then it's housebreaking. Thirdly, if he uses a passage in a way not it is meant to be used, example, there's a door and there's a door latch and he opens it with a say twig or a scale, ruler or a stick, so that is not the way it should have been opened, then also it's housebreaking. Fourthly, he breaks open the lock either to enter or exit, it's housebreaking. Fifthly, cat. What is cat? He uses criminal force, right? Then assault, C-A-N-T, threat to assault, threat. In these times, he is also committing the offense of housebreaking. And lastly, he breaks open the door which is fastened to a passage. There's a passage, there's a door. He breaks open the door, right? So all these things of entry and exit would make it the offense of housebreaking. Easy. 445. So kindly see the major offenses grouped in chapter 17 of the Indian Penal Code, that is offences to property, we have covered. We recall briefly before I wind up. 378 theft, 383 extortion, 390 robbery, 391 dacoity, 403 criminal misappropriation of property, 405 criminal breach of trust, 410 stolen property, 415 cheating, 425 mischief, 441 criminal trespass, 442 house trespass, 443 lurking house trespass, 444 lurking house trespass by night, 445 housebreaking. There's also a housebreaking by night. That's again sunset to sunrise. If you do it within that time, you do it. But we have covered all these things, and this winds up your session of chapter 17 of the Indian Penal Code. Okay, you will be in a position to answer the questions now. The relation from where it comes, that much is clear from this lecture, right? So it's not an elaborative video, but just to help you recall at that point of time when in exam hall or as a young lawyer when the court, when the question is put, so that you can use your tricks to recall from where the question is put. And if you can do that much, the answer is yours. You get the full marks for that. Okay. Take care, study hard, and do like, share, and subscribe. That's what you have to do. Oh yes, I forgot to tell you, there are requests being poured in for coaching persons on a personal level. So personal level is not possible singly. Well, if it's in groups are there, then of course made for judicial coaching or otherwise that we can think of. But right now, please follow this channel. Follow this. It will help you. Use best of the lockdown time. Right. Thank you.